The invisible employee who accidentally became COO. I was the company ghost. Zero presence. Hey, you was literally my name at work. Anyone could dump tasks on me. I'd do them without complaint, without emotion. Even fresh interns learned to toss their grunt work my way. Yet I never considered quitting. Because in my forgotten corner of the office, I spent every day writing novels as my side hustle, quietly building my savings account. I thought I'd stay invisible forever. Then a promotion fell from the sky. The company was going public. The CEO wanted to reward founding employees with stock options. During the headcount, they discovered meth. Invisible veteran. The CEO finally noticed this loyal little employee who'd stuck around through everything. He was so moved by my dedication that he decided on the spot to give me the COO position everyone was fighting for. Chapter 1. As a kid playing house, I was always the store owner, other kids were customers. Starting price, $1 for candy. After negotiation, I'd somehow end up paying them $1 to take it. Years of this game, never once made a profit. My parents would shake their heads, confirming I had zero business sense. Worried I'd be taken advantage of, they passed down their corporate survival wisdom. Mom's workplace survival guide: lay low. Stay quiet. See nothing. Hear nothing. Look busy while doing nothing. She said if I mastered these principles, I'd become a proper corporate veteran, secure in my position. Dad would scoff whenever Mom lectured me. His philosophy was completely opposite. Dad's motto: no risk, no reward. Work hard, be visible, be observant, be charming. Only by mastering these 4 B's could you climb the ladder to success. Mom said Dad's way was exhausting and promotions would go to people with connections anyway. Dad said Mom's way meant staying at the bottom forever with no future. Mom argued that putting all your eggs in one basket was stupid. What if the company failed? That's why you needed a main job and a side hustle. Dad said if everyone thought like her, companies would fail. But if everyone worked hard like him, companies would thrive, benefiting everyone. Both had valid points. Neither would budge. Caught between them with my weak spine, I'd agree with whoever spoke last. The thing is, they both had proof they were right. Mom stayed entry-level her whole career until retirement, but her embroidery side business sold internationally for premium prices. Dad climbed from clerk to VP through sheer ability and charm, helping grow a local startup into a Fortune 500 company. With both philosophies drilled into me, I crafted my own workplace survival strategy after graduation. I took Mom's invisibility and side hustle focus. Added Dad's observational skills. Combined, I successfully became the most marginalized invisible employee in company history. Chapter 2. And I was perfectly happy with that. After 12 years at the company, Hey You was still my name. Anyone could order me around. I'd comply without emotion. Even new interns learned to dump work on me. Still, I never considered quitting. Because in my unnoticed corner, I wrote novels during work hours, quietly growing rich. I thought I'd stay invisible forever. Then the promotion bombshell dropped. The company was going public. The CEO wanted to reward veteran employees with stock options. The headcount revealed meth invisible veteran. The CEO finally noticed this ancient entry-level employee and was moved by my loyalty. He decided on the spot to give me the COO position everyone was killing themselves over. In the executive meeting, after the CEO's announcement, all eyes turned to me. Me, dragged in without warning. Was the CEO insane? Me? COO? Chief Operating Officer? My direct supervisor, founding member and marketing director Brad Thompson, objected first. Her? Boss, you're joking. She's just a junior analyst. How is she qualified for COO? I nodded eagerly at the CEO. Exactly. I'm just a junior analyst who never even got additional certifications. I'm completely unqualified. COO sounded exhausting. I'd rather spend that energy writing more novels and selling more rights. Way better return on investment. Operations manager Kevin Wong, the other COO frontrunner, also objected. COO should be based on ability and merit, not just tenure. We can't let seniority trump real talent. I nodded vigorously again. Yes. I have neither ability nor merit. I just stuck around because the company was easy to slack off in. Give it to someone qualified. As COO, I'd have no time to slack off. What about my hungry readers? I'm not that irresponsible. The old guard chimed in. If COO selection is this random, we have no confidence in the company's future. Me, exactly. Can't be random. The new generation added, we won't respect her. If someone like her can be COO, anyone can. Me, wholeheartedly agreeing, right. If I can be COO, everyone can. Everyone shouted in unison, can you shut up? My cooperation earns zero respect. Fine. Maybe I should quit. Though finding another job with $60,000 base, full benefits, no overtime, and slacking opportunities would be tough. Seeing resignation. In my eyes, the silent CEO finally spoke. He stood, insisting I seemed like just an employee but was actually stronger than everyone present. Me. I endured another round of stares, everyone's face asking, her? Really? Chapter 3. Was the CEO using me as a target? Did he want me dead? What grudge made him do this? Maybe he resented my 12 years of slacking? Or was this reverse psychology to make me quit so he wouldn't have to give me stock? My mind spiraled into conspiracy theories. Nothing else made sense. Before the old and new guards could object again, the CEO said sternly, "Since you all doubt my decision, I'll give you a fair chance to compete." That quieted them, but now I needed to speak up. I'd barely gotten out, when someone covered my mouth from behind. I turned to see Maya Rodriguez, my old lunch buddy and current CFO. "Don't worry. Compete with them. Let the boss finish." Me? On my other side stood former chat buddy, now CTO, James Liu, right. "We've got your back. Your success is coming." Me? What were they talking about? Seeing my confusion, Maya whispered in my left ear, "The boss has been struggling with the COO decision." I turned left, asking with my eyes, "Bosses struggle, my problem how?" James whispered in my right ear, "So when he asked our opinion, Maya and I strongly recommended you." I whipped right, staring at James in shock. "Are you insane? I'm lazy, greedy, and useless. You recommended me?" Maya on the left scoffed, "Someone who writes 6,000 words daily while working lazy?" James on the right laughed, "Someone who gets a new certification for every profession they write about useless?" I was about to explode when Brad and Kevin stood up together. "Fine. We accept the challenge." They both stared at me with clear battle intent. Me? They'd made me their enemy. While chatting, I'd completely missed what challenge the boss proposed. I was about to clarify I wasn't competing when the CEO winked at me. I had no idea what that meant. While I froze, the CEO declared the meeting over and fled, giving me no chance to object. Once he left, Brad and Kevin approached. Brad looked at Maya and James flanking me, smiling coldly. "You three were always close. Didn't expect you'd still be so tight after all these years." Kevin was more direct, chin raised arrogantly. "If you don't want to embarrass yourself, withdraw from the Zenith project now. Save the company's reputation." Without waiting for my response, they left coldly. Now only Maya, James, and I remained in the conference room. I couldn't maintain composure anymore, grabbing my head. "What did you two do behind my back?" Chapter 4. I used to think share wealth, share woe was the highest blessing between friends. After hearing what Maya and James did, I learned it could also mean backstabbing with good intentions. It started 4 months ago. The company had just gotten IPO approval. Before going public, the CEO wanted to restructure departments and positions. Some were thrilled, others worried. Maya and James, the ultimate overachievers, were naturally department heads. Plus their loyalty through startup struggles and near bankruptcies made them obvious choices for CFO and CTO, remaining the CEO's right and left hands. Only the competitive COO position remained undecided. Sales, marketing, product, operations, even HR directors all eyed the position, creating underground tension between departments. But this had nothing to do with me, a lowly analyst. The surface tension between departments didn't affect me at all. I'd finish my tasks daily, then secretly write novels in my carefully chosen camera blind spot. The thrill of potentially being caught cured procrastination. Me typing speed was faster than at home. But 2 months ago, my workload exploded with random project tasks. Even other departments suddenly discovered they could dump work on this corporate doormat. If they didn't thank me with food or small gifts after each task, I'd think it was workplace bullying. Though it wasn't much different from bullying. I'd been completely invisible before. How invisible? Department meetings no one told me. Team meetings forgot me. Task assignments skipped me. Department outings left me behind. I never dressed up at work. Forever in black, white, gray. No makeup, messy hair, thick-rimmed glasses. I looked more intern than the interns. New hires often mistook me for an intern and ordered me around, then avoided me in embarrassment after learning I was senior staff. Round after round of colleagues came and went, promoted or quit. In marketing, my cohort had all become at least deputy managers, completely removed from a never-promoted nobody like me. New colleagues who did interact with me didn't know me well. I preferred they ignore me so I could slack in peace. This beautiful life ended 2 months ago. Suddenly swamped, I had no time to write at work. To maintain my daily updates, I'd write at home until dawn. This wasn't a life. I had to break through at work, increase efficiency to carve out novel writing time. But of course. At work, the more you do, the more they give you. Finish one task, the next arrives like snowflakes. Can't refuse a feed hound you urgently, as if they needed it completed that very second, forcing me to rush. Absolutely ridiculous. This busy life made me consider quitting countless times. I had a group chat with Maya and James. Every time I cried about quitting, they'd take turns convincing me to stick it out. They said my increased workload and cross-department tasks were because department heads were fighting for COO. These people were sabotaging each other's departments. Once the COO position was decided, my life would return to normal. I could be invisible again. I fucking believed them. Turns out they'd recommended me to the CEO. The busy CEO's dusty memories were awakened remembering I was the company's first hire, a fresh graduate. He was immediately moved by my selfless dedication. Pure CEO fantasy. His emotional response, plus Maya and James vouching for my abilities, actually put me on the COO candidate list. My sudden busyness these 2 months. All the CEO testing my abilities. Being called to today's meeting meant the CEO was satisfied with the test results. After Maya and James explained everything, they looked at me with sparkling eyes, faces screaming, "Praise us." I nearly had a heart attack. Zero praise. I wanted to run. I wasn't a workaholic overachiever. COO meant massive responsibility and endless busy days. I'd witnessed my dad's overachiever lifestyle, working 365 days a year without break. He said higher position meant more responsibility. Work and family couldn't coexist. Always traveling or on calls, even at home. Family time was pathetically small. Even holiday dinners were rushed before visiting bosses and clients. Thankfully, Mom was Dad's opposite. Mom was a slacker veteran, slippery as an eel. Clocked out on time, never overtime. Came straight home to do embroidery and spend time with me, saving my childhood from neglect. Some people are born for workplace battles, enjoying the competition and achievement. Others are naturally unambitious, easily satisfied with status quo. Influenced by both parents, I wanted job stability and the joy of completing each novel. Previously, I'd balanced both perfectly. Now that balance was shattered. I could imagine as COO, my joy would vanish, replaced by endless work-induced breakdowns. Could I blame Maya and James for their well-intentioned disaster? No. Can't be that ungrateful. I could only blame past me. Karma's a bitch. When I started writing, I needed to nail the romantic tension between characters. Being perpetually single, imagination wasn't enough. So I turned to Maya, who had a crush, and James, who pined for someone. No practical experience, but theoretical knowledge galore. I helped Maya strategize for her crush while being James's wingman. I shipped both couples so hard. Inspiration exploded. My first best-selling romance was born, rights sold for big money. Years later, Maya and James both married their crushes, living happily ever after. But seeing me still alone after all these years, same position, they felt guilty. We'd promised to be happy together as a trio. How could they leave me behind? Two overachievers defined happiness as promotion, wealth, and family. I only had wealth. They secretly conspired. Playing matchmaker was harder than getting me noticed by the CEO during IPO to showcase my abilities and become COO. Easy choice. Plus I did have the ability. Chapter 5. At this point, I could only continue slacking, letting the CEO see my true unmotivated nature. Then he wouldn't choose someone so unambitious as COO. But the CEO understood. Anticipation. Returning to my desk, I found my little corner empty. Literally. My huge desk, computer, files, decorations all vanished. Just an awkward empty space remained. While I stood frozen, someone tapped my shoulder. Ms. Morgan, the CEO arranged an office for you. We couldn't find you earlier, so we moved everything. I asked, confused, office? This vaguely familiar young woman handed me an appointment notice. The CEO says you're interim COO. Congratulations. After all these years, you finally made it. We believe you'll win the Zenith project and officially become COO. Her words made my vision go black. What? Me? Interim. Coup? Already decided? This casual? Chapter 6. Done deal, but I refused to accept it. I went to the CEO to reverse the decision. After hearing me out, the CEO shrugged, saying it was a board vote. Everyone believed in me. He couldn't reverse it. Bullshit. He could fool others, not me. His so-called board members were all trust fund buddies. These silver spoon rebels who'd face inheriting billions had followed the CEO to start from scratch. A bunch of rich kids following the CEO blindly. Maybe lacking ability, but great at gathering funding. When the company nearly folded multiple times, these trust fund board members' connections saved us. They never managed company affairs, just wanted to prove to their families they could survive without parental money. Incredibly willful. The CEO was the most willful rebel of all. I genuinely wanted to quit. The CEO saw it and started emotional manipulation. Normal CEOs talk about company struggles and paint rosy futures, expecting employees to sacrifice for the family. My CEO just calculated. He opened with, I've known since day one that you use company resources to write novels during work hours. Me. I stared at him in shock. He smiled back. I broke into a cold sweat. He continued, don't panic. Sit. Listen. Actually. Chapter 7. Leaving the CEO's office, sitting in my unfamiliar new office, his serious request echoed in my head. He'd said, my life's happiness depends on you. Don't misunderstand, his happiness wasn't directly related to me. But indirectly? Yes. I pulled my hair, frustrated. I'd gone to reverse his decision. How did I become his dating coach? Right. Rather than who become COO, the CEO cared more about his love life. After exposing my novel writing, he pivoted, saying he wouldn't hold it against me. He even offered an irresistible deal. He said he dragged me into the COO competition because he couldn't decide between Brad and Kevin. Brad, as a founding member, should have been COO. Like Maya and James. But the CEO said Brad was autocratic, self-important, refusing subordinate input. Managing just marketing was fine, but COO managed multiple departments. If Brad became COO and bulldozed through without understanding other departments, it would create resentment and potentially major mistakes affecting company growth. As for Kevin, his credentials and ability were flawless. Except one fatal flaw, severe education elitism. Only Ivy League graduates need apply. He believed non-Ivy grads were society's rejects, unworthy of his team. But education doesn't define everything. Highly capable people deserve chances regardless of alma mater. The CEO himself had headhunted many talented people without prestigious degrees who became company pillars. If education snob Kevin became COO, he might purge these ordinary degreed talents. He'd already suggested multiple times, optimizing out employees whose education didn't match company standards, replacing them with Ivy grads. Hence the CEO's indecision. At his most conflicted moment, Maya and James recommended me. The CEO initially dismissed it but tested my abilities as a favor to them. This test revealed a hidden gem. He said he'd had preconceptions. He tolerated my novel writing because I was the first employee. He was generous with the first employee. He'd assumed I lacked security in the early startup, needing a backup plan through side work. Since I cost little and made no mistakes, he'd turned a blind eye. As the company grew and I stayed invisible, his impression of me faded. Then the conversation shifted. He pulled out several of my published novels, saying he'd had no idea I was the mysterious romance novelist everyone loved. He'd studied every male lead's technique for winning women. But using my fictional methods on his crush got him labeled a creep. Hearing Maya and James succeeded with my help, he wanted the same. If I helped him win his crush, even if I lost the COO competition, he'd ensure Brad or Kevin couldn't retaliate. My office life would return to peaceful slacking. Honestly, his offer was too tempting. So, I accidentally agreed I'd be his dating coach. He'd let me slack without interference. In his office, it seemed fine. Now alone, thinking clearly, this was a huge problem. So not only did I fail to reverse his decision, I'd taken on dating coach duties. I held my head, wanting to cry at my stupidity. Knock knock. Mid-despair, someone knocked. Come in, I called. The door opened. The woman from earlier entered. Before I could greet her, 7 more people flooded in. 8 young faces, all familiar. They'd all tested my abilities on the CEO's behalf. They filled my previously spacious office. In unison, "Good morning, Ms. Morgan." I shuddered, forcing a smile. "Morning. What brings you here?" The lead woman stepped forward with her bright smile. "Ms. Morgan, I'm Sophie Chen. We all volunteered to join your team." The others chorused, "Yes. We believe in you. We want to fight alongside you for the Zenith Project." Me. Kill me now. Chapter 8. I had zero intention of winning the Zenith Project. Never imagined so many would choose my side. I asked why they picked me. Without hesitation, I had a good temper. Good temper? I just didn't care about anything. I came clean. I wasn't competing for COO. They should switch teams before ruining their careers. They insisted I shouldn't sell myself short. I was capable. I could beat the other candidates. I was blunter. I just wanted to slack. COO was too busy, too tiring. Not for a slacker like me. Guess what? They got more excited. I could slack all I wanted. They'd handle everything. They weren't afraid of hard work. They wanted this project on their resumes. Oh right. They were all interns, still with college enthusiasm and workplace naivety. Watching them quickly organize, pulling chairs around my desk, chattering about task distribution, my silence was deafening. Help. Working, they transformed. No more innocence, eyes full of ambition. I tried interrupting their meeting. My invisibility finally worked. They generously shared streaming passwords, told me to watch shows if bored. Their meeting would take a while. Me. What fresh hell. Watching Sophie lead the endless intern meeting, my head throbbed. All ambition, no direction. At this rate, they wouldn't assign tasks before closing time. Helplessly, I speed-typed a task distribution sheet, assigning work based on observed personalities and strengths. Receiving their printed assignments, they looked stunned. Then delighted, staring at me with admiration. "Sophie, thank you for the guidance. We won't disappoint you." Others in unison, "Thank you for the guidance." Me. So polite. Was I their professor now? Lost count of how many times I'd been speechless today. Exhausted, I waved them away. They cheerfully thanked me again and scattered. Chapter 9. Finally closing time. I bolted from my office. Couldn't stand another second in there. Without the thrill of potentially being caught, I couldn't write a single word. Had to go home to update my novel. But leaving my office, I felt stares from every direction. Curious, envious, resentful, jealous. Various intense gazes made me instantly uncomfortable. After 12 years of invisibility, one moment of visibility would give me lifelong workplace trauma. Just then, Sophie's team also packed up promptly, ready to leave on time. Ethan from the intern team, a total extrovert, saw me and greeted enthusiastically, "Ms. Morgan, heading out too?" His words helped divert some attention. My introvert heart filled with gratitude. Then a sarcastic voice cut through, "Oh look, the chosen one can leave early." The passive aggression nearly slapped my face. The speaker was from Brad's teamy old colleague Rachel Stevens. Rachel joined 6 months after me. Complete opposite of me, promoted quickly, now marketing deputy director. Actually, she'd played a huge role in my invisibility. She'd stolen my work results to gain the CEO and Brad's recognition, earning her first promotion. The day she became team lead, she privately warned me not to expose her credit stealing or she'd get me fired. I pretended to be scared, promising silence. But Rachel still didn't trust me. As team lead, she guarded against me, led others in ignoring me, marginalizing me. Perfect for my plans. Mutual benefit, really. Over the years, Rachel remained unilaterally hostile. Even as she climbed higher, our paths crossing less, she still made petty moves behind my back. My decade-long stint at entry level? Rachel deserved major credit. Out of gratitude, I had tolerance for her nastiness. She gave cold face, I gave smiles. Yeah, no work even if I stayed late. Rachel punched cotton, expression frozen in that awkward spot between speaking and not. Embarrassed and angry, face red. What are you so smug about? Everyone knows you became COO by kissing the CEO's ass. Good heavens, who spread these rumors? How was I kissing ass? Before I could clarify, Sophie's team's justice boners activated, beating me to it. Lady, defamation is illegal. Which I saw Ms. Morgan kissing ass. Got proof? Wrong's defaming both Ms. Morgan and the CEO. Even if it were true, so what? If kissing ass gets you COO, why work? Let's all kiss ass. Make the CEO happy, everyone becomes COO. Great idea. Who wants to be COO? Let's find the CEO together. Poor CEO would drown in spit. I can picture it. Gross. Ha ha ha. Wild mental state. Rachel, destroyed by the intern team's group roast, couldn't out-argue them. Fearing they'd really go to the CEO, she turned on me. Harper Morgan, is this how you manage your subordinates? I smiled, they're pretty great. Don't you think they've added vitality to the company? Seeing me side with them, the worried interns relaxed. Next second, they stood prouder, faces full of pride. Sophie's team spoke again, voices confident. You're just jealous Ms. Morgan has capable subordinates. Good thing Ms. Morgan's smart enough not to fall for your divisive tactics. You can't destroy our unbreakable revolutionary bond with Ms. Morgan. After speaking, they all looked at me, clearly expecting a summary. I played along, nodding, right. Your scheme won't succeed. They beamed with satisfaction. Ugh, so cringe, so embarrassing. Other colleagues' stares grew increasingly strange. But Rachel was furious, threatening. Don't think Harper's protection lets you disrespect superiors. Believe me, one word from me sends all you interns packing. Her words froze the atmosphere. Sophie's team exchanged glances. I dropped my smile, coldly facing her. Believe me, one word from me sends you packing too. Rachel immediately understood my implication, face going pale. She stammered, unable to form a strong rebuttal. Seeing this, I didn't let up, so keep your hands to yourself. Understand? Rachel fled in defeat. I walked expressionlessly toward the elevator. Any longer and I'd break character, my shaking legs revealing my cowardice. Sob sob, mom, dad, workplace is scary. Behind me, Sophie's excited squeal, this damn sense of security. Chapter 10. After confronting Rachel, the next day rumors spread that the CEO wanted me as COO because we were having an affair. Such gossip spreads fastest. Soon someone posted online with vivid details. Though no names, clever netizens deduced our company from details. When Maya told me, I didn't care. Affair rumors with me? I wouldn't panic. The CEO would panic more. This lovesick fool didn't worry about company reputation, only his own innocence. He bombarded me with messages. Which bastard wants to ruin me? If I can't get a girlfriend because of this, I'll fight them. Ms. Morgan, why aren't you responding? You promised to help me pursue her. What's step 1? You haven't told me. Help. Check my conversation with her. What went wrong? Why won't she respond? Conversation excerpts. 1. CEO, morning. Question, if bad guys and good guys share a ride, who gets off first? Crush. CEO, bad guys. Surprised? Because good guys go all the way. Crush. 2. CEO, morning. Know what happens when a white balloon hits a black balloon? Crush, no. CEO, the black balloon should confess. Balloon equals confession in Chinese, so simple. Crush, get lost. 3. CEO, morning. Dogs go woof, cats go meow, what do chickens do? Crush, cluck. CEO, wrong. Opportunity is for the prepared. Chicken equals opportunity in Chinese. Crush, are you bored? CEO, these are jokes I found online. Funny, right? Why won't she chat with me? Me. What sin did I commit in a past life to deserve this idiotic boss? He said his crush was famously cold. His plan, make her laugh. Good plan. Never try again. But her tolerance not blocking him, responding to everything clearly showed promise. Hearing my analysis, the CEO wanted to confess immediately. I doused him with cold water. Until our affair rumors were cleared, even successful confession would leave a ticking bomb in their relationship. CEO, those damned rumor mongers. Chapter 11. Yes, call the police. In the CEO's words, without making it big, without official intervention, how could we prove our absolute innocence? He refused any potential obstacles with his crush. With this execution ability, how could he fail at romance? With police involvement questioning staff, within half a day they found the culprit. Another familiar face operations assistant Lisa Park from Kevin's team. When she interned senior year, I trained her. She wanted to excel during internship for a full-time offer. But stuck under a slacker like me, she got marginalized too, resenting me. Learning she'd applied to transfer to operations, I was too lazy to train newbies anyway. I privately asked James to help. Lisa smoothly transferred and got her full-time offer. Unfortunately, 3 years later, she joined operations as an assistant and remained an assistant. Meanwhile, her classmate who interned in marketing had been promoted twice with corresponding raises. Lisa harbored resentment, blaming me for not helping, forcing her to transfer for the full-time position, then being unable to compete in operations, stuck as an assistant. Now seeing me luck into COO candidacy just for longevity, jealousy drove her crazy. She spread CEO affair rumors hoping I'd crack under pressure and withdraw from Zenith, better yet quit entirely. Then Kevin's team would only face Brad better odds. She believed if Kevin became COO, as his team member, she'd benefit from his rise. In the conference room, after hearing her explanation, the CEO and I were speechless. Now Lisa wouldn't benefit just termination plus public apologies on all platforms. The CEO, wanting insurance, added local newspaper apologies. Now Lisa faced real-name social death. Future employment would be difficult. Now she was scared, crying for forgiveness, trying to guilt-trip me into asking the CEO for mercy. She said she'd worked hard to leave her rural hometown. Going back would ruin her life. My problem how? When spreading rumors, did she consider that without the CEO's swift action, if I were more fragile and quit as she hoped, what about my psychological damage? Just my bad luck? Ridiculous. In handling Lisa, my cold side earned 2 extreme company reactions. Some colleagues thought I did great. Facing malicious rumors, I should reject guilt trips and make her pay. Others thought I was heartless. No real damage done. Adults should leave room for future encounters. I didn't care what they thought. But I was completely famous now. No more invisibility possible. After Lisa's incident, Kevin specifically approached me, seriously clarifying he knew nothing about Lisa's actions. Fair competition meant no dirty tricks. That would insult his abilities. He confidently declared again he'd win Zenith, again advising me to withdraw to avoid embarrassment. Kevin was pretty annoying. This fired up Sophie's intern team more. Daily chicken blood energy levels. I admitted I couldn't help much. Only when they had questions was I useful. Otherwise they told me to do my own thing. After 2 days finding their rhythm, they made rapid progress. Seeing their enthusiasm, I secretly bought them daily afternoon tea for moral support. I couldn't help but sigh, youth is great. Unlimited energy, boundless vitality, full drive. Then they drove too hard. 1 week left, I still left on time. Today leaving my office, I met Sophie's team's food delivery. They quickly claimed their orders, returned to desks, opened packages and ate, filling the air with various food smells. I had a bad feeling. Walking over, you're not planning to work late, are you? The previous week they'd been driven but maintained no overtime principles, leaving on time. Sophie looked up from slurping noodles while staring at her screen. Yeah, tight deadline. Can't finish without overtime. Ethan beside her added, leaving, Ms. Morgan? Don't worry about us. Following your plan, everything's progressing smoothly. I touched my chest, conscience suddenly hurting. But staying to work late with them? Impossible. I couldn't convince them to leave. They shooed me away. Their reason, Brad and Kevin's teams were working late. They wouldn't be outdone, wouldn't let others think we'd given up. This overtime was happening. Not just today. Until results were announced, daily overtime. Me. Don't understand, but respect. At least they were nominally on my team, fighting for my promotion, though I genuinely didn't want it. But one shouldn't be ungrateful. So to ease my conscience, I impulsively declared I'd cover their meals going forward. Daily takeout wasn't nutritious. My hired cook made delicious food, mastering all major cuisines. I created a group chat for them to order. I'd pay extra for the cook to make and deliver. Also, after overtime, skip public transport. Take cabs. I'll reimburse. Just 1 week left. I could afford it. After a week when Zenith came to see proposals, if theirs didn't win and Brad or Kevin got the project, I naturally wouldn't become COO. This temporary team would dissolve, returning to their departments. Not that I doubted them. Just facts, Brad and Kevin's teams were all elites. Sophie's team was still a ragtag bunch. They weren't blind to reality, just loved challenges, wanting a stage to showcase abilities. Success or failure, both had value. Time flew. Tomorrow Zenith would come to judge proposals. Sophie handed me their work. The more I read, the more shocked I became. Because it was too good, exceeding expectations. Sophie's team watched with bright, eager eyes seeking recognition. Sophie spoke first. Ms. Morgan, what do you think? Any revisions needed? I shook my head. In my opinion, this proposal is flawless. My words triggered excited cheers, as if victory was assured. Watching their silly joy, I couldn't smile. Chapter 12. Learning I was upset because Sophie's team wrote too well, possibly beating Brad and Kevin, Maya and James rolled their eyes at me over after-work drinks. Maya, enough already. James, complaining about free success. Maya, right now Brad and Kevin are still at the office working. James, and you're here drowning sorrows because your team's too good. Maya, have some shame. James, be human. I gritted my teeth, this is your fault. Maya and James immediately looked guilty. Maya patted my shoulder consolingly, look at the bright side. If you become COO, you can still Slack. Just delegate, don't mind being a figurehead. With your achievement of helping the CEO win his decade-long crush in just 1 week, your COO position is untouchable. You'll get COO salary plus company dividends. You win, sister. James ruthlessly mocked, don't be too confident in those interns. Brad and Kevin aren't pushovers. Beating them won't be easy. I was comforted. You're right. I can't underestimate opponents just because Sophie's team is excellent. Maya and James. Ignoring their speechless looks, I drained my glass, declared the night over, everyone go home. Before sleeping, I thought after tomorrow, my life would return to peace. Recently I'd been too visible at work. Colleagues' curious stares followed everywhere, forcing me to hide in my office. Chapter 13. Next day, before Zenith arrived, the CEO called me, Brad, and Kevin to his office. We drew lots to determine presentation order. I got last, Kevin first, Brad second. Both seemed supremely confident in their proposals, their looks toward me no longer hostile. Changed to dismissive. Basically, looking down on me. Especially Brad, you're destined to lose. Don't cry in front of Zenith. Before, I wouldn't anger at such words. Taking bait from provocation was stupid. But remembering Sophie's team's shining eyes full of ambition and desire for success. Just for their pure work enthusiasm, their efforts shouldn't be belittled. So my brain heated up, I shot back, we'll see who cries. Prepare to be blinded. Brad choked, you. I covered my ears, la, can't hear you. Kevin squeezed between us with disgust, can you two not be so childish? Brad and I glared at each other. Chapter 14. The whole company watched who'd win Zenith, even betting on who'd become COO. Brad and Kevin's votes were neck and neck. Me? Don't ask. No one believed in me. Sophie's team was indignant again. To them, I understood everything. No worse than Brad or Kevin, even stronger. The company was clueless about my abilities. They couldn't wait for their turn to present, to face-slap these doubters with strength. But the face-slap went differently than imagined. Kevin finished presenting first. Zenith nodded frequently, looking satisfied. Facing Kevin's pressure, Brad remained supremely confident. The moment he displayed his team's proposal on screen, Sophie's team and I froze. Because his proposal wasn't 100% identical to ours, but 99% similar. Ms. Morgan, how is this possible? Sophie asked with red eyes. I looked at Rachel following Brad in, meeting her provocative gaze. Crystal clear. This repeat offender. Did she think even? Knowing she stole our work, I couldn't do anything. If it were just me, I'd endure and settle scores later. But this was different. This affected Sophie's team's futures. One mistake and they'd be labeled plagiarists. They were just senior interns. How could their bright futures be destroyed by Rachel? I immediately stood in Rachel's shocked stare, distributed our proposal to the CEO and Zenith. I interrupted Brad's presentation, I request meeting suspension. Mr. Thompson, your team's proposal is nearly identical to ours. I request security footage review to find the truth before continuing. My words triggered Rachel first. She barely controlled. Panic while yelling, Harper Morgan, there's a time and place. You see Zenith likes our proposal so you're stealing with despicable means? I ignored her, looking at the CEO, insisting, each of our team members has hidden cameras at their desks. If you don't want to interrupt the meeting, let Zenith watch too. See who's the thief. Called a thief, Brad's face darkened, I have nothing to hide. Watch away. But if you can't prove we stole, you resign and leave. Deal? Rachel stood behind Brad. He had no idea while saying this, Rachel's face was white. I sneered, looking past Brad at Rachel, fine. But if it proves you or your team stole, then what? Brad declared decisively, then do whatever you want. Call police, industry blacklist, your choice. Now Rachel was swaying. Regarding this sudden event, Zenith was briefly confused before comparing both proposals. After quick review, they told the stern-faced CEO, pointing at my team's proposal, this one has better details. If we're signing, we want this one. Zenith's word surprised everyone present. Great. We won. Sophie squealed with delight, as if hearing victory's trumpet. I nodded along, yes. Now we just need the footage proving this proposal is ours. No one can steal. Your hard work. I told Ethan, please go to my office and get my laptop. Ethan zoomed off. At this moment, Rachel was shaking like a leaf. I said coldly, I hold grudges. How could I fall for the same trick twice? Perfect time to settle old and new scores. Sophie asked curiously, together? How? I patiently explained, you might not know, but under criminal law section 219, stealing company trade secrets or technical information causing significant loss constitutes trade secret infringement. Serious cases get 3 to 7 years imprisonment plus fines. Our proposal involves hundreds of millions, definitely maximum sentence. Plus, if the proposal's value reaches certain amounts, could involve embezzlement or theft charges. TSK, good lawyer with solid video evidence could stack charges. 10 to 20 years, easy. Sophie, wow, Ed with relief, so satisfying. Good thing she didn't confess voluntarily. Otherwise just verbal warning, nothing we could do. She thought she whispered, but everyone heard. I glimpsed Rachel's conflicted expression. Brad remained righteously indignant. If he'd just looked back at Rachel once, he couldn't be so calm. He even glared at me displeasedly. Me. Truly blind. Why not donate those useless eyes? Just then, Ethan returned with my laptop. Sophie immediately urged, Ms. Morgan, quick. Show the footage. Can I call police now? Can't wait to see the thief get justice. She spoke excitedly. I nodded indulgently, go ahead. I'll have this ready soon. I focused on my computer. Sophie prepared to call 911. At this crucial moment, Rachel, whom everyone ignored, made a desperate lightning grab for my laptop while no one was looking. But I'd anticipated this, hugging my laptop and dodging faster. Plan failed, Rachel glared hatefully, shrieking, bitch. Why are you against me? Delete the footage. Delete it. By now, everything was clear. Brad's face turned black as coal, exploding, Rachel Stevens, you fucking screwed me. Rachel panicked, playing victim, only because. You rejected all my ideas, called me pig-brained and rigid, wanted to kick me off the team. You forced me to steal Harper's proposal. How was I supposed to know Harper was psycho enough to install hidden cameras? Hearing this, Sophie and I exchanged smiles. I closed my laptop, showing a kind smile, saying in unison with Sophie, no cameras. We tricked you. Rachel realized I'd played her, lunging at me in rage. Of course, she didn't even touch my clothes before being dragged out. This time I provocatively waved at her. Bye-bye. Clap clap clap. Sudden applause. The previously stern CEO was now beaming, looking at me happily. Congratulations Ms. Morgan on winning Zenith. The COO position is yours as expected. Me, kill me now. The end.